between work, fixing a resume, dealing with a 2-year-old, reading a lot of books, I forgot to make a video last week. Sorry. But here I am this week. I was going to put it off again, and I decided no. I'm not going to because one week turns into two, and two into three, and etc., and etc., and etc. Um, but it's February, and we are finally kind of moving into movie season. I follow a lot of films and I get quite excited as we get closer to summer because that's when a bunch of the summer flicks come out. And this is going to be a big year for movies. Big, big year for movies. Star Wars, Avengers, Jurassic Park. Okay, I'm just a little bit excited about that one. I'm not gonna deny it. But I actually kind of wanted to talk about something it's always a cause of contention amongst people who read and read a lot and watch movies a lot. I want to talk about books going to a screen, either a small screen or the big screen. I am currently kind of blowing through the Harry Dresden Files by Jim Butcher, and there was at one point in time a one-season TV show called The Dresden Files. It was on Sci-Fi, lasted one season, and now it is streamable on Netflix, or was last time I checked. I don't know if it is now because they rotate shows, but at one point in time it was, and I watched it before I ever touched not touch one of the books because I shelved them all the time. I knew they were in existence, okay, but I didn't even think about reading them until after I'd watched this season of show, and I saw this show. Thought, hey, I really like these characters. I'm quite interested. I'll go read the books. The books are nothing like the show, which is actually kind of refreshing. I mean, I'm familiar with a bunch of the characters that they introduced in the show, but they're different in the book, and that's kind of exciting for me because I don't want to know everything as I go into a brand new series. I want to still be surprised, and I really was. It was nice. In case you didn't know, Bones is actually based off of a book series written by Kathy Reichs, and it's totally different too. But both are really popular, okay? It is okay for differences to exist in the translation from book to screen. I know that's a massive cause of contention, especially in films. People raise all kinds of hell and high water about if the movie strays just a little bit from the book. Now, I'm not going to say I like every book or movie based off of a book, okay? I'm not saying that. Nor am I saying I like every book a film is based off of. Example, Blood and Chocolate. They released the film, and I watched the film, and I quite enjoyed it. And I was working at the bookstore at that current point in time, so I immediately went to work the next day, checked out the book, and I hated the book. I hated it. I could give you a list of examples if you want them, but I won't in the video. But I did not enjoy the book. I really liked the film, and I did the exact same thing to I Am Legend. When I Am Legend was released, featuring Will Smith back in like 07, 08, I loved the movie. So I immediately turned around, went back to work, and I checked out I Am Legend. And it has a bunch of short stories in the back, because I Am Legend's actually not that long of a novel. I checked that out. I really liked the book. I really did. I liked both of them in their separate entities. The issue, I think, as readers that we forget is that we are not the only vision We are not the only ones with a vision of this book. We read these books, we have an idea of what the characters look like, and that's not probably what the author envisioned. And then when a director gets in this seat of captain, I suppose, of a project, they have a different vision, and so does the screenwriters, and the producers might have a different idea. So you have all these different visions of a book, and probably none of them are the same. There's a big hoot to do when Twilight came out, and a bunch of girls got really pissed off that Kristen Stewart really wasn't what they had in mind, and all this blah 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 blah. And to be honest, I heard someone on the radio say it in a perfect way. Just because she doesn't look like you doesn't mean she's a bad cast. So Uh, but here, I'm going to give you guys another example. I read The Maze Runner by James Dashner a while back ago, and I didn't really like it. And I'm not saying that's because I'm a female reading a book with a bunch of male protagonists and antagonists, because that's not the case at all. A bunch of my favorite characters are male point of view characters from books. So let's just I'm gonna break it down. I read Maze Runner. It didn't because the movie was coming out, so I read Maze Runner before I went to go see the film. And it's the dystopian society kind of stuff. So I read it, and there were bits that were good. Like I really liked the main character Thomas. I really liked him, but a majority of the other guys in their community that they've built up, I wasn't a big fan of. I found them kind of really annoying and etc. etc. But teenage boys, I find a lot of teenage girls in books incredibly annoying. So it's two-way street. Then my sister went to go see the film before I did, and she really, really enjoyed it. So she says, I'll go with you to go see this film. And I was like, okay. So the two of us went together, and I quite liked the movie. It had the spirit of the book. There were changes, but the spirit of the book was still the same. And I think that if we could handle books to film or books to a screen that way, I think we would be better off, because almost everything nowadays is taken from a book. I mean, if you go back and you look, I mean, okay, like I've said before, there's Bones. Rizzoli and Isles is based off of a book series. You have Dexter is based off of a book series. Dresden Files is based off of a book series. Game of Thrones is based off of a book series. Walking Dead is based off of a comic book series. And then if you go to movies, I'd be sitting here for at least a month telling you all of the films that have been made that have been based on books, and I wouldn't still be able to name them all because I haven't seen them all and I haven't read them all, so I wouldn't know. Um, it's difficult, I know, because you try to stay true to the vision of the novel, but unfortunately, someone's always going to be pissed off about it. Not everyone's going to be happy. Someone's always going to be let down by something. Even in the fantastic Harry Potter novels, people are let down. The third film's the worst film because it's nothing like the book. And that's all you'll hear people say. They say, "Did you like the third movie?" And they'll immediately tell you it's nothing like the book. So no. Asterisks if they've read the books. It's my dad's favorite movie, but he hasn't read the books. It's a problem out there, but it's something that we need to kind of get over, I suppose. This is the new normal for us, okay? Movies are always going to be based off books from here on out. It's just how it's going to be. And young adult novels just get written anymore to be made into a movie. I personally don't have a problem with that because that gets kids to read. So I don't have a problem with that at all. But I think that us as a fandom community, we need to be more willing to experiment and have an open mind when we go see these films, because they're not going to be exactly what we expect to see. They're not going to be words on a screen, so it's not going to be exactly what we expect. There will be good and there will be bad. They'll just there will be just bad things. They're just bad things. And I won't even name those because it's my opinion. It's my opinion, and what I like, someone else might absolutely adore and love. So I'm not even going to get into that. But I hope you guys have a fantastic week. Uh, the weather is insane. It's 30 something degrees out here, and by Saturday it's supposed to be 70. I live in the South, and you never know what you're going to get. So, hopefully, you guys will have a fantastic week. Hopefully, my stress levels will come down. I hate working on resumes, man. If you guys have to do it too, good luck. I know your pain. And I will just see you guys next Monday. Bye, guys.